Hi, I'm Owen from the English Folk Dance and Song Society, and I'm here with Hazel Askew, who is playing as part of Lady Maisery at Cecil Sharp House on the 21st of May. So Hazel, tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you?
I'm a folk musician. I play melodians, harp and sing mostly, mainly in Lady Maisery and with my sister in the Askew Sisters.
And tell us about Lady Maisery. What was the idea behind that group?
It was kind of started, yes, it's mainly a vocal group really. Every song has three-part harmonies in it, but we also play lots of instruments as well. So there's lots of things we wanted to explore, really kind of harmony singing, singing with instruments and all the possibilities that brings out. So you've got lots of different combinations and textures you can create. We've also been quite inspired by kind of European music really, and diddling, so tune singing traditions, which is something that happens kind of in most folk cultures really, but there's kind of hints at what happened in England and little clues, but a lot of it's died out, so we've been quite interested in kind of bringing that back and exploring the connections between them all.
There's been quite a lot of interest in Scandinavian music, I think, recently among a lot of this generation of folk musicians. Well, what's inspiring about it for you?
Loads of different things. The whole kind of sound world and all the rhythms are really interesting. They often link a lot to some kinds of English music, particularly northern ones and northeastern things. So in our group, Rowan actually spent a year in Sweden studying Swedish fiddle music, which is a massive tradition out there. And Hannah also spent about 6 months in Finland kind of studying Scandinavian music as well. And we've all also been involved in lots of, when we were younger, particularly kind of youth projects and ethno summer camps where people from all over Europe would get together and play together, and there was often quite a strong Swedish presence there, so we've kind of just absorbed a lot of music, I think, and kind of loved it really.
You mentioned the sort of tune singing, diddling tradition. What would you say is the point of that? Why sing without words when that's sort of what the voice does naturally?
Well, often you're singing in the same way that you would play a tune, so you're just using the voice to play a tune really. So we think often it was done when people didn't have instruments and they wanted to dance. So when you think of it like that, it seems quite a normal thing to do really, to just sing a tune. So a lot of the kind of things we know over here about diddling suggest it was quite linked often to step dancing. But in other countries, in Sweden for example, if you go to like a dance workshop, there might be someone singing instead of someone playing for you to dance to. So it's very linked to that, and yeah, just a way of enjoying singing a tune as you would playing a tune, I suppose. Yeah.
Does it have much history in this country?
Well, we know in some countries it's become much more of a revived thing. So mouth music is a little bit different in Scotland. It's a kind of very strong tradition and lots of people do it, and it's become a performance tradition. And similarly in Scandinavian, trying they call it, is also a kind of people perform it as well. But I think over here we're not really sure why, and some people are starting to research it, but it hasn't kind of carried on as its own tradition, it seems, as much. So yeah, like I say, there's a few recordings, mainly of traveller singers doing it, but there's not like a strong revived tradition, a performance tradition of doing it, so that's why we've kind of been looking into it a bit really. It's quite fun. It's a fun thing to do.
So how do you, when you want to put a tune set together as a group, how do you go about arranging that? Because I love how you're always very careful with the syllables, and you put sort of different, you change the consonants around to put different emphases in different places. Yeah. How do you actually go about starting that off?
Well, when we first started, we didn't really know what to do, and we used to write them out. We're like, what are you saying there? But it's become much more organic, and we usually end up doing roughly the same thing anyway. But different syllables suit different kinds of tunes, so and it also suit the kind of the music and the languages of the places they're from. For instance, Scandinavian, they often use like a door sound, which it kind of fits that kind of music. But we've been exploring, we've been doing a Morris tune, and those kind of rhythms suit more of a kind of duck-and-dee kind of shorter sound. It kind of, in the same way as you play something differently, you're kind of trying to do that with your voice. So you're using different sounds to suit the feel and the rhythms of the music, really.
You play quite a lot of instruments, as you mentioned. So there are those and a few more besides. I've seen you play the flute and those things.
Yeah.
Well, why choose to play more than one instrument? It's a bit of a strange question. But.
Yeah, no. Well, for me, I started really on recorder, and you just kind of end up doing different things. So I really wanted to play the flute, so I kind of started learning that I don't know, and then you get interested in different kinds of music which lends itself to different instruments. So I wanted to play the harp, and my school was amazing at the time. It was a comprehensive with this free music course where if you kind of got onto a music course you could learn 2 instruments for free, and I knew they had an old harp in a cupboard, like a big one, and I was like, can I learn that? No one plays it. So I was able to learn that. And then that lends itself to different kind of music in different fields. And then I really wanted to kind of explore English music more, and something I could play 2 lines at once with and maybe sing with, which is why I learned the melodian. But I think when you're like looking for a song or arranging something, if you start on a different instrument, it kind of inspires different things. So you know, I might be playing something with melodian and can't really think of anything, and then try it with the harp, and then it brings out different ideas. And some songs just suit different things. I wanted to sing this song for years called I Wish the Wars Were All Over with my sister, and I'd kind of had it going for years, and it was never right with melodian, and I ended up kind of trying to learn concertina, which I knew would suit it, which did.
You played melodian for a long time, I guess. Would you say, in your experience of playing tunes, that the limitations imposed by the instrument have had some sort of effect on the way the tunes have developed?
Yeah, they kind of push you in certain directions, I think, but also having limitations there makes you push what an instrument can do. So I kind of always think if I play the accordion, I'd just be daunted by the possibility that you can do so much with melodian. I've got 8 or 12 basses, so I'm so limited, but then it makes you push, you know, you're really trying to find out new things. So yeah, it does shape the sound, and certain patterns. With melodian, if you're playing a note on a push, you only have so many options of other notes you can play on the left hand, so it does shape it a bit, I think. Yeah.
Do you think that, this is an opinion I've heard from some people, that when you get sort of three bow melodians with 18 basses, is that cheating a bit?
I used to say that, but I'm thinking about getting an 18 bass, so I don't know. I suppose it's a development of the instrument, just in the same way that 12 bass ones were brought in, and I mean, it still would have limitations, and it's still not as clear. I suppose it's like a piano keyboard layout, but yeah, you have more options. I'll say that, keep everyone happy.
So you've been dropping some new material into your sets over the last couple of months. When you were here in November, I mean, you finished with an instrumental tune set. First time I've heard you do that.
Yeah.
Is that a deliberate move away from this very, I guess you're seen as an a cappella vocal group, but is that a sort of move away from that, or just want to try something new?
Well, that tune set, it's got singing and editing. We've actually expanded it. We kind of had half of it then, and now we've found the other half, so we've got it together. But yeah, that's something we still, I think when we started, there were so many different directions and things we could do. We've kind of been exploring, and something we hadn't really done yet was explore diddling with instruments and that combination of everything. So yeah, we don't do anything that's completely without vocals still, and I'm not sure. We kind of half joke about one day just putting out an instrumental album and seeing what happens. Not telling anyone.
So the new material you've been working on, I take it there's a new album on the horizon, not too distant future?
Yeah, well, it'll probably be next year now, I think.
Oh, okay.
But we've got about 5 new songs, and we're kind of dropping new bits in here and there, which is nice. It's kind of slowly evolving.
So once this gig's over and the rest of the tour, what have you got planned for the next few months?
So we're all involved in a really exciting project called Songs of Separation, which is going to happen for a week in June on the Isle of Egg in Scotland. And it's a collaboration with, there are 10 of us, all female musicians, 5 Scottish and 5 English. And we're going to be exploring kind of the theme of separation in music in lots of different ways, and partly inspired by kind of all the referendum and everything that's been happening politically. So actually even now it's a very kind of pertinent time to be thinking about these things. But it's really exciting. We're kind of involved individually, but we'll all be there. And it should be fun, hopefully. So we're doing that. We're kind of all doing other things in the summer with other bands mainly. And then we're kind of touring again in the autumn and finishing the album. We'll see what happens after that. And Hannah's also got a new project called Jig Doll, which is her kind of solo project exploring singing and dancing and lots of different things. So she's going to be doing that in November.